Hey Bright Lights, welcome back to the Space Doctor series on the Architecting channel. My name is Angela and I'm an architect, researcher, and feng shui practitioner who spent my whole life studying the science behind design for well-being, so you don't have to. All you have to do is like and subscribe to this channel, and every week you will get a video that explores the link between two pieces of research related to design for well-being using my Salutogenesis card deck, which has two parts. The first part are foundational concepts, the things that create health or disease. And the second part are 5 aspects of salutogenesis, core research that my work has indicated build the foundation of what is salutogenesis. And every week I shuffle the cards and set an intention that the 2 cards that I draw will be the most beneficial lessons to learn and things to work with. And don't worry, if you are not a design professional like me, I make this easy to understand. I only give you what you need to know in terms of how the 2 cards are related to one another. So you'll learn something new every time I draw a particular card. The card that I drew this week from the foundational concepts part of the deck, it's one of my favorite. It is oxytocin and the HPA axis. Now this sounds really complicated, and it is, in fact, a series of complex chain reactions that happen in our endocrine system. So this is a mutually regulating interplay between what causes stress, which is a whole chain reaction in the hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal axis, or HPA, and the hormone oxytocin. You'll notice that the symbolism on this card is a walk, don't walk sign. And that is because that is the role that oxytocin plays. If you consider the HPA axis is sort of like the don't walk or don't be well, be hypervigilant and stressed out red light symbol, oxytocin is the green light. And we know that these 2 lights are never on at the same time. If one is on, the other's off. And that is exactly how this works. Oxytocin buffers that whole stress response and is the hormone that is released when you feel joy, love, gratitude. By doing things on purpose that are going to generate more oxytocin in our system, we are going to automatically shut down the stress response, even though nothing in our life has changed. And that is what I love about this science, is that we often can't control the things that stress us out, right? We feel stuck and trapped or terrified of what's going to happen if we don't work even harder or push even more or solve this or that problem. And based on what we know about stress, those feelings and that response in our body is actually the thing that's going to make it hardest for us to figure it out and solve the problem and be productive. So when we can turn that off, we are best equipping ourselves to do something different. One of the best ways to do that is with the companion card that I drew, which is biophilia. Biophilia, this is the ace, if you will, of the alphabet of biophilia. It is one of the core 5 aspects of salutogenesis. And I like to refer to it as I relate. Why do I say that? Because biophilia is Latin for loving nature. Well, newsflash, as a human being, you are part of nature, which means you're hardwired to resonate with the natural world. When you feel connected to the natural world, and it can be anything from the plants, the rock formations, the water, the sunlight, the stars, the moonlight, anything that is the physicality of the natural world and everything that makes it up, your body is naturally more relaxed. All of the cycles in your body are better regulated because we evolved to respond to cues from the natural world. When we spend too much time indoors in artificially lit environments, maybe in light color temperatures that are not attuned to the cycle of the day, we throw our body off. When we are in artificial environments that don't provide a range of colors and textures and materials, when everything around us is artificially made and looks that way, we are thrown off. Whether we're aware of it consciously or not, our body is looking to find those cues, those clues, that resonance. And when it can't find it, it's creating, you got it, even more stress. Staying up all night in a room that is harshly lit with achromatic colors in it, working in an office that's like that, being in any kind of space where we don't have access to windows or views, we are only throwing off our bodily cycles and creating more stress in our body. Biophilia is associated with the wood element in feng shui. Wood is about connectivity, about networks, about the interplay of one thing with another, the way things are interconnected, forming mutually beneficial cycles. Now, in feng shui, nature is also a very important contributor. Feng shui itself translates from Chinese to wind and water. And the purpose of feng shui is to connect flows and cycles to mitigate things that are harsh or oppressive energetically and to bring in ease and flow. A lot of the very, very powerful enhancements in feng shui have specifically to do with nature. Things like lighting candles or having a fire in a fireplace or in an outdoor patio, being able to have a fountain or a water feature nearby, having views to nature and views of things like mountains or hills that are protecting your back, being connected to the materials of nature. So having things that represent earth and water and fire and wood and metal within your home. These are all very important ways that feng shui helps you to connect and resonate with the natural world. If we want to leverage the power of biophilia and strategically think about the way that the spaces where we live, work, and play are designed, introduce feng shui concepts in there, we will be hoping to develop more of our joy and our appreciation because the natural world is going to resonate with us. That is going to mean that we have higher levels of oxytocin and that we are better able then to suppress an existing stress response while at the same time, because of that connection to nature, actually prevent additional stressors from assaulting us. So hopefully this makes sense to you. You're already stressed, say, because you have a big deadline and you have to lead a meeting and a client is giving you a hard time, let's say. So all these things are going on. And on top of it, you are working and living in a way that is disconnected from the natural world. That's adding to that stress you already have. Now, on the other hand, when we have a more biophilic environment to be in, that's going to, first of all, nourish and replenish us instead of adding to our stress load. But then it's also going to, over time, help us to feel calmer, more connected, more joyful, more appreciative of the natural world around us. So it's working both ways. You can use all of these strategies in your home, at work. How can you bring nature in? How can you introduce symbols of nature, use natural forms, shapes, materials, colors? How can you think about your lighting as it pertains to nature? And how can you get out in the natural world maybe a little bit more than you're doing today? All of these things are going to help raise your oxytocin levels, which automatically means less stress. So I'd love to hear what you're doing in your spaces or how you're sharing this information with your clients, your friends, your cousin Freddie, whoever it is that you know could benefit from this information.